Hello and welcome back to the Wrexham Way. Hope you're all doing well and looking forward to today's episode as we take on West Ham United and Real Madrid in the Premier League and Champions League respectively. We need to be beating Real Madrid here today if we want to go top of the Champions League group. It's imperative that we do so. But of course there are a few things to talk about before we go into today's games. Starting off with actually Pedro Pereira. Now, last episode, he was not scoring. We actually praised him, didn't we, after the game where he scored a goal in last episode. And since then, he has been a goal machine, now up to 14 goals for the season, and is our highest goal scorer. If we look at his form, as you can see, 1 goal, 3 goal, 2 goal, 2 goal. Didn't play against Burnley, so couldn't score a goal. But he has been absolutely incredible. Obviously, if you watch my scoring more goals video that came out over the weekend, you will have seen this bit already, to be fair. But we just keep praising him. After every game he scores a goal, I go to discuss, praise player, and I praise his last game. I can't do that. Didn't play last game against Burnley. Did it against Hoffenheim, so I can't praise him. But he's been absolutely insane, and praising him seems to work beautifully. So he's well on his way to scoring plenty of goals this season, and of course that has renewed interest in several clubs, including Chelsea, Everton, and of course Bayern Munich. So when it comes to January, we'll see what happens, but now I'm back in the phase where I don't want to sell him because he's scoring plenty of goals now. So despite him scoring plenty of goals, we're not really winning games. We've not actually won in the Premier League for 5 games in a row now. So let's go through what's happened since you guys were last here for the draw to Arsenal and then the win against Hoffenheim. We then drew 1-1 with Chelsea in a game where Chelsea actually were better than us, really. They should have maybe taken the win in that game. It was fairly even across all things, really, but Chelsea with slightly more momentum in the game, very, very even XG. Maybe they should have snuck it just a little bit, but Chelsea were very good in that game. We then got back to winning ways against Liverpool in the EFL Cup 4th round. Pereira with a hat-trick in that game to ensure that we are through into the quarter-finals of the EFL Cup. We'll take on Leicester in quite a few weeks' time in that one, but still on for that trophy, which is pretty nice. Back in the Premier League, Pereira got a brace, but only in a 2-2 draw with Man United. A game, again, where it's very, very close between the two teams. Arguably, United better. Arguably, should have scored more goals because we had a higher XG, we had better chances. But again, the match momentum, probably 50-50. I guess a draw is probably the correct and fair result there. We then travelled to Hoffenheim, where Pereira got another brace in a 5-1 victory away from home, which was fantastic for us, before we fully rotated the team because there were only like 2 days in between the Burnley and Hoffenheim game. And we drew 1-1 to Burnley, who are currently sitting bottom of the Premier League table, which is not ideal. So going back to this Liverpool loss here, we've actually played 5 Premier League games and not won a single one of them, which is worrisome. However, it feels like everyone else around us is also not having a great time. Leicester are clear at the top by 3 points on 23, but us, Man United and Newcastle all on 20 points. Liverpool on 19, West Ham on 18, Arsenal on 17, Chelsea on 17, Southampton and Brentford on 16. It's so tight in the top half of the table after just 11 games. And so the game against West Ham is pretty crucial. We need to win it. If we don't win it, they will overtake us in the table. And there's a few teams around us, Man United, who could take points away from Leicester. They could go ahead of us. If they win, they go level points with Leicester, to be fair. Who else? Newcastle are playing Southampton, who have dropped off recently. They were in the top 4 last episode. They've dropped off a little bit. Chelsea are currently, where are Chelsea in the table? They've picked up some points since last episode. They're 8th. They're taking on Tottenham, who are down near the bottom end of the table. So it's looking like there's going to be plenty of wins for teams around us today. We need to make sure we're one of those teams. And to do so, we are not going to mess around here today. We're going to play the strongest team possible, minus Yilmaz Turk, who's currently recovering from an injury. Back in a few days' time. Should be back for the Champions League game against Real Madrid. But with Nico Mantel in goal, the back line is 8 Nuri, Arian B, Luis Felipe and Neto. Martinez starts just in front with Sousa, Paniotov and Daniel Patrick in the midfield, with Nice and Pereira leading the line. So playing away from home today is going to be a tough fixture for us, particularly with West Ham in pretty decent form. And of course, we've not won in 5 Premier League games. So we need to switch things up today. It's likely going to be a draw based on what we've seen in the previous games off camera. I've also just realised as well, I think there's someone like with a chainsaw not too far from my house. I can hear it faintly in the background. I'm not sure if the microphone's going to pick it up, but in the background, there could be some chainsaw sounds. So hopefully it's not, but apologies if there is. Do they not know I'm recording a video right now and they need to wait? It's a bit frustrating, to be fair. They should know better, shouldn't they, as West Ham score a goal. West Ham should know better as to not score goals against us either. I must say, defensively this season, we've not been as good as last season, and that's something that we might need to think about heading into the January transfer window. The whole back line, for me, I think the thing is, I've grown very fond of Felipe and Neto specifically, and potentially we could be finding better players out there. And I need to get rid of the fondness in my brain and think logically and think, what's the best option for our team? Potentially replacing them could be the best option. But of course, we have to think about the other side of the defence as well. There could be better players on the left-hand side of the defence too. So it's an interesting one as Panayotov gets us back in this game. Assist from Pedro Pereira there. So he's not scoring a goal yet today, but is making goals. He's been absolutely crucial with goal contributions in the past 5 games or so. And so drawing, as it stands right now, drops us down to 3rd in the table. Leicester are beating Man United, but Liverpool are now drawing with Cardiff. Cardiff got an equaliser, so Liverpool drop back down to 5th in the table. So no change for us at half-time, but we are seeing a few tired faces out there. I think Neto and Daniel Patrick, yes, are both quite tired. They'll come off the pitch shortly, I think, to replace them. Fitness is becoming an issue with so many games to play this season. I feel like Jurgen Klopp complaining all the time. Is that a penalty? Maybe should have been a penalty, but we do regain possession in the half as Pereira can't put that one away. You hate to see it. Golden opportunity that, and we've not made the most of it. As I was saying though, we are struggling a little bit with the rotation of players, and it is maybe highlighting that our rotated team, our backup players aren't good enough. So we do need to recruit a bit in January, I think, to just improve those areas. Players like Hector Garcia probably need to leave the club now. There's a few others in a similar sort of boat, I would say. I mean, Levere needs to go because he's just sort of taking up a lot of wages as well, which is a bit frustrating. In the meantime, we can't get the ball into the West Ham half, and Chong coming forward right now. Great challenge there from Arian B, but only as far as their wing-back, who puts the ball into the middle. Clear header at the far post, and it's just about being cleared behind for a corner. Good blocking there from our defenders. But we are looking a little bit lax at the back, aren't we? You know, it's not just me seeing this, right, from the previous games in between episodes. Like, you're seeing it today. We are a little bit lax at the back compared to last season, I feel. And I think we need to make a couple of changes in a moment's time. As Liverpool go 2-1 up against Cardiff, they'll go ahead of us in the table as things stand. And we need to stop that from happening by scoring a winner in this game. But it's likely going to be a draw, isn't it? Unless Nice on the counter-attack can do something special. He finds a ball to Pereira. The man scoring so many goals recently. Oh, unlucky. The angle didn't quite work for him there. Wide of the mark. We are going to bring Patrick and Neto off the pitch right now, though. They are both looking quite tired. Annoyingly, we've not got Dest on the bench because he's got an injury or suspension, one of the two. So we'll have to bring on Nopodon at the back, and then Daniel Patrick will come off for Asper. Let's confirm that change. Or both those changes, I should say. Does anyone else want to come off the pitch or should come off the pitch? In terms of average ratings, no one in the back line's playing particularly well, and that's maybe suggesting where our issues are lying. We're going to go a little bit more attacking, and I'm going to shout encourage because we need to get this win here today. You know, we've not won for a while in the league. I'd love to get one on camera to get us back into the winning groove, particularly before the game against Real Madrid, where we're going to play this exact same team again. We're going to rest them for 2 days, I think, in between the two fixtures to make sure they are fully up to fitness, because that Real Madrid game is huge. We'll talk more about Champions League in a moment's time as well once we get past this game too. But as West Ham come forward, we've just let them through. Our defence stood still. And it wasn't just me who saw that, was it? Like, I mean, let's wait for the ball to get into the position, right? I mean, at this stage, Neto and Nopodon both go towards Gedson, which just allows their striker through. He's now got a ton of space, Hall on the ball right now, and no one decides to go near him to tackle him. Like, Arian B backs off. I mean, Aikner is, I guess, covering these two players here, but Nopodon's out of position, Neto's out of position, no one goes for the challenge, and of course they're going to score a goal. Defensively, some of the decisions recently have not been great. But there is still time in this game as... Hang on, it says goal replay at the top. What's happened here? See, this is the bug that I've had before, but not on an episode. I've had this bug before where it doesn't show you the highlights, it shows you the replay of the goal first, And then after this, it will come up with the actual highlight. See, this is the actual highlight now. But it showed us the goal replay first. Now, I saw this as well in the, not the Streamer Showdown we've just done, because I'm recording this actually before the Streamer Showdown, but in the February Streamer Showdown, the same thing happened to me in there when I scored a goal against Zealand, which took away. And here we go, a replay of the... Either way, I think we've seen this goal enough times now. Pereira has got another one. He's on a roll. So back to level terms with West Ham in bizarre ways there with the whole replay situation. It's a bit of a small bug. I've only experienced it like 2 or 3 times in Football Manager, but I'm sure some of you guys may have seen it before. I don't think it's a skin bug, because I'm sure last time I had it in the Streamer Showdown, I was playing with a normal skin, as Pereira has a chance to take the lead in this game. Doesn't quite do it, unfortunately. But we do have another 7 minutes in this game to go. Corner cleared. I think what we might do is take Nice off, who's had a decent game, to be fair, on a 7.7, but is quite tired. Let's bring Randy on for the final few minutes, just see if that injection of pace at the back can do something. As it stands right now, Liverpool are winning. They go ahead of us. Newcastle are winning. They go ahead of us. We drop down to 4th as it stands. United drop to 5th. It's still very tight, as we couldn't get that goal at the end. It's a 5th draw in a row, no win in 6 in the Premier League now, and our league position is starting to suffer. And Nice, Pereira, Panayotov, Arian B, Felipe and Neto, all Jada could do with a rest. You hate to see it. We've just come off 2 weeks of international break, so I guess they were playing an international break, weren't they? But it's really frustrating as PSG want Nice for £101 million. I think come January, we're going to see some big bids for some of our players. Training... I might even do 3 days, you know, just give them a whole few days off before the Real Madrid game. They come back on the 23rd for a bit of training, maybe. I've done it now, haven't I? I've done it. So let's turn our attention away from the poor Premier League form and focus on the Champions League instead, where we currently sit second on 9 points, level on points with Madrid, but of course they beat us in the first game. We played against them 3-1, so they are ahead of us on head-to-head record. Now, if we beat Madrid today by 2 goals, then we will go ahead of them, because we'll have the same head-to-head record, winning by 2 goals, but a better goal difference. So a 2-0 win would be ideal. Of course, much easier said than done against Real Madrid. It looks like Fenerbahce and Hoffenheim are going to fight it out for 3rd place. I'd like to think we should be able to see this group out now, particularly with a decent result against Real Madrid. But obviously, winning the Champions League group is much more preferential to coming second, because in theory, you get an easier draw for the first knockout round. Also, not done it yet. Let's praise Pereira, because it seems to work every single time. Praise last game. You were great out there scoring goals. Hopefully that means you're going to score some goals against Madrid today. And so what we'll do is bring Yilmaz Turk back onto the pitch for Sousa. And that's the only change I think we're going to make, actually, to be fair. We'll get Dest back on the bench instead of Hector Garcia as well. He was injured for the last game, I think, or suspended, one of the two. So the team is the exact same apart from Alparslan back on it. Let's submit it. And hope for the best. Now, as kickoff is upon us, we do have the advantage of playing at home here today, which is quite handy. So hopefully that plays into our hands. The home crowd get behind us and we score plenty of goals on our way to a big 5 or 6-0 victory as Panayotov blasts that wide. How has he not got that on target? Panayotov, that was a golden opportunity. Will he be able to redeem himself, though, with a free kick? Not quite. Into the wall, does hold on to possession, though. Out wide to Luis Felipe. That was a great ball, to be fair. Nate Nuri now quite deep. Brings the ball forward into Nice, into Alparslan, whose curling effort eventually goes actually probably quite wide and high of the crossbar. So maybe nothing to get too excited about. But in the first 6 minutes of this game, we are having plenty of opportunities. Hopefully we just see more opportunities like this, but actually go in the back of the net. Pereira with the ball out wide. His cross cut out by the Real Madrid defence as they slowly bring it out from the back and get it up towards our halfway line. Can we get a tackle deep in their half? We can. Daniel Patrick, that was huge from you as Panayotov finds Pereira, who finds the back of the net, and that might be offside. I don't think it was. I think it was timed perfectly. We'll see what the VAR says. Disallowed. Where was the offside in there then? How tight and close was it? That's tough. That's a tough one to take. Okay, so still 0-0. It's fine. We've had a really strong start to this game, but Madrid, with a good challenge on halfway, are now looking to build in our attacking or defensive third, I should say. As the ball is out wide, across into the middle, that's offside. That is easily offside, referee. Ref? Okay, tell me where there's no offside here. I mean, obviously there's not an offside because... Oh. 8 Nuri. I'll stay quiet. Okay, so after all of that pressure, we are now 1-0 down to Madrid. Very, very familiar to the game we played in Madrid, where we had the more shots, the higher XG, everything, and yet we lost 3-1. You know, fundamentally we said, you know, we're a good team because we've done this against Madrid, but we couldn't get the goals. Today, it feels like something very similar is about to happen, unless we can just go on a thunderous run for the rest of this game now, as Pereira has been put through. Pereira, this time, his goal is going to VAR again. Ref, if you tell me this is offside, I'm going to... Oh, it's counted. Has it counted? I think it's counted. It's counted. It was well onside there. Well onside. It does say at the top, Wrexham 1, Madrid 1. You love to see it. Okay, so back on level terms then. We need to score 2 more goals in this game, though, to ensure we go top of the group as things stand. And with a ball over the top to Pereira, the keeper gets there first. But Daniel Patrick now, cutting inside into Martinez, over the top to Paniotov, down to Nice. Nice, square it. Oh, I really should have squared it to Pereira, who was absolutely open for an open goal there. But look, we are having so many chances in this game. I back us to score 2 more goals. And will this highlight be the highlight we get another goal? Chiesa brings the ball forward, intercepted nicely, and Paniotov can drive forward into Pereira. Pereira beats his man, shoots, puts it just wide. So unlucky, but Pereira is in fine form right now. I know he's missed a few key opportunities, but he's the one scoring goals right now. No one else really is. On the ball again. It seemed like a weird start to the highlight, and he does pull it back to Alparslan. Alparslan into Daniel Patrick. Header saved on the line by the keeper. We're doing so well. We are doing... Why could we not do this, by the way, against West Ham? Like, we are like a different beast playing against Real Madrid right now compared to West Ham or any of the Premier League teams that we've drawn against in the last few game weeks, as Daniel Patrick's through. I swear you won't see a team miss more one-on-one opportunities than we do. Now, I'm not sure if that's because we just aren't very good at scoring one-on-ones, or we just seem to, this formation, the way we play games, just seems to create a lot more one-on-one opportunities for our players than other formations do. I'm not sure which one it is, but we do miss a lot of them. But at half-time, it's 1-1, and, not quite half-time yet. Over the bar. At half-time then, it's 1-1. Wrexham 1, Real Madrid 1. 16 shots to their 3 shots. A 1.9 XG. If we don't win this game, there is no justice in this world. Highlight right at the start of this second half then, seconds into it. Can we pile on the pressure and force a mistake at the back? Well, kind of, because we've won the ball because it hits the back of their striker's head. That's a bit weird. Either way, we have the ball, which is pretty good. Neto fires it forward towards Pereira. Pereira out wide, gets it into Daniel Patrick, into Paniotov, into Pereira. Nice passing here. Ball into the middle is blocked, but only as far as Martinez, as Paniotov holds it about 30 yards out from goal. Into Alparslan on the edge of the area. Can he get across in the middle? He does. And Pereira goes down. And this is going to be potentially a penalty, which Neto will end up taking because he is the best penalty taker that we have, because his penalty taking is stupidly high. It's a bit weird, but he always seems to score them. I do not doubt Neto to score this penalty. I'll back him. 100 million %. I back Neto to score this. He never lets me down. Never, ever, ever lets me down. Okay. So we are in front in this game, and I've spent all this time, by the way. I've just realised how much of an idiot I am. I have spent all of this time saying we need. Hang on, is that another penalty? Hang on, I'm very confused all of a sudden. Militao sent off. It looks like it's going to be a free kick. Have Real Madrid lost 2 games in this Champions League? Oh, of course, this one counts as a loss, doesn't it? I keep forgetting they lost to Hoffenheim as well. I was under the impression that we'd finish both on like 15 points at the end of this Champions League campaign because they beat us and now we're beating them. Of course, they lost to Hoffenheim as well. That blew... So actually, the whole head-to-head record thing doesn't matter. If we win today and then beat Fenerbahce next time out, we top the group by points. Not it. I feel like a lot of these times when things like this happen in the episode, I am the last person to realise. Like, you guys at home already know this sort of thing. I am the last person to realise the situation sometimes. Or I've got something in my head so much, it just... I don't know. This is embarrassing. I'll be honest. But as the clock ticks down, I've realised I haven't made subs, but we've only got 2 minutes left, so I'm sure Neto, Paniotov and Yilmaz can last for the next 2 minutes or so, as we see the game out for a victory against Real Madrid. If only we could do this in the Premier League. Look at how much we've nullified Madrid. That's mad. But in winning that game, we have qualified. We have qualified for the knockout stages of the Champions League. With 1 game to go, Hoffenheim and Fenerbahce can't catch us up. So we've got to the knockout stages, but we haven't qualified top yet. Because if we do end up losing to... Hang on, let me have a quick look. Yeah, if we do end up losing to Fenerbahce and Madrid beat Hoffenheim, they'll go back ahead of us on head-to-head record because they won 3-1 compared to our 2-1. So there's a chance we still come second, but it looks very likely we are going to win the group. I've also realised, before this game, right, the Q was next to Madrid's name, wasn't it? It said they'd qualified. Well, they haven't. Because if Hoffenheim win against Madrid, they'll be on 9 points too, with a better head-to-head record, because they would have beaten them twice. So Hoffenheim have still got a chance to come second in the group. Next episode is going to be an awful lot of fun. We will be back for, I reckon, Man City and Fenerbahce. Let's do that next episode. So thank you so much for watching today. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. And of course, if you have done, make sure you do drop a like on the video for me. Subscribe if you're new around here and leave a comment down below for the YouTube algorithm. Until next time, have a good one. Goodbye.